Yes, good morning boys and girls. We are back once again for the part 2 of our circle series. Okay, now don't forget, this is actually called what? Our circle what? Series. Okay, so now our circle series, we are actually talking about it in the fact that it's our circle series because we are trying to learn about everything and anything circle. Now let's not forget that we're not done with our weight series. Alright, last week we started talking about weight. Okay, so we're not done with that. So we're still going to continue the series of we finished the first segment. Of course, we're talking about circle, so we have to use secular terms and terminologies. Okay, so segment is a secular word term. Alright, so we're going to be looking at this next series of weight subsequently. But today or this week we're going to look at everything what? Circle. So yesterday we talked about, or in our previous class we talked about what? The area of what? A circle. So in case you've not watched that video, please, I would advise you that before you proceed with watching this video, make sure you watch the video of area of a circle. Oh yes, and please don't forget to like, subscribe, comment and share. Thank you very much for that. So moving on now. The circumference of a circle. When we were talking about the introductory part of a circle, we said that the circumference is the distance round what? The circle. When I use the example of the lid of my teacup, I said the distance round this teacup is what you refer to as what? A circle. So moving on, we can now come to establish the fact that when we're talking about circumference, we're talking about what? The distance round what? The circle. Or probably the what? The perimeter of what? The circle. Of course, perimeter literally means what? Circumference. Now moving on, we can establish that even circumference itself has its own formula. Alright? Now you remember with me that when we're talking about the area, we said the area of a circle has its own what? Formula. And who can remind me what I said the formula of area of a circle is? Who can remember? Excellent, beautiful, smart. The area of a circle, the formula is what? Pi r square. So now the circumference of a circle is the distance round the circle. I believe we've already established that as a fact. Okay, so it is the name given to what? To the perimeter of what? A circle. Circumference is what? The name given to the what? The perimeter of what? A circle. So now we have that the formula of a circle is what? 2 pi r, of which pi, we've already established that pi means what? 22 over what? 7. Alright? And we've already said that radius is a line that starts from the center of the circle to any part of what? The circle. And we said that the diameter is a line that divides a circle into 2, or a line that divides a circle into semicircles. Of course, that gives us. So let's get straight to calculation, okay? So now, what is the circumference of a circle with radius 7 cm? What is the circumference of a circle with radius 7 what? Cm? So first of all, the circumference, let's look at the formula. The circumference or distance round the shape, the formula is what? 2 pi r or pi d. Now, let me talk about pi d. We use pi d when diameter is given. Of course, you know that radius, radius times 2 is the diameter. Radius times 2 is what? Diameter. We already know that, okay? So, and 2 pi r means 2 times pi times r. So let's get that straight. So now what is the circumference? Now the circumference, from this number 1 question now, we have that the radius is what? The radius is what? 7. And we have that the pi is always what? 22 over what? 7. That one is a constant. It doesn't change. It's a constant, okay? So now we're going to put this inside this formula. We're going to be having 2 times pi times r. Then we now have 2 times 22 over 7 times r, which is what? 7 over 1. We'll cancel out. 7 here is 1, 7 here is 1. 2 times 22 is what? 44 centimeters. Answer. Straightforward. No, you see it now. Very, very simple. Yeah, no, this is not an issue. just know your formula and know that you have to replace the formula with the numbers you're given. It makes it very easy and very straightforward. So let's move to number 2 question. Number 2 question says, find the circumference of a circle with diameter 28 centimeters. Now, we might decide to use this formula pi d, or we might divide this into 2, whichever one you do. If you divide the diameter by 2 to get the radius and you use this formula, fantastic. If you say, you know what, I don't want to go through that stress, so let me just put diameter there. Okay, you will still get the same word answer. But if you are using 2 pi r, make sure you divide this diameter by 2 to get your radius, because radius is half of what? A diameter. Alright? So make sure you divide it into 2 to get your what? Radius before you solve. But if you are going to use this diameter straightforward, make sure you use what? Pi d. Okay? So now the circumference is 2 pi r or what? Pi d. But in this case now we're using what? Pi d. Of course, the pi is 22 over what? 7. Then the d is what? From the question, the d is what? 28 centimeters. I hope I'm communicating. On your own, you can solve it using 2 by r, but dividing the diameter by 2 to get to the 14, which is the r before you solve. Okay, so now we have pi d means what? Pi d means pi times d. Okay, so the pi is 22 over 7 times 28 over 1. Hope I'm communicating. Hope you understood that, right? You understood that. So now we divide. 7 in 7 is 1. 7 in 28 is 4. Okay? So 22 times 4, for those that don't really know, let me just show you. 4 times is what? 8. 4 times is what? 8. So the answer is what? 88. Oh, sorry about that. 88 centimeters. Hope it's clear. It's very simple. Very simple. Very simple. Right? So, number 3. Find the circumference of a circle with radius 14 cm. Circumference of a circle with radius 14 cm. They were pretty straightforward here. Alright, so the circumference is equal to what? 2 pi r. Alright, so let's list out our parts. Our pi is 22 over 7. Our r from the question is what? 14 what? Cm. So we put everything inside the formula. We're having what? 2 times pi times r. So it's going to be what? 2 times what? 22 over 7 times 14 over 1. So 7 here is 1, 7 here is 1, 2. So 2 times 22 is, okay, no. So let me just take it step by step. 2 times 22 is what? 44. 44 times 2. I know some of yes, I know you've gotten the answer, but let us solve it for those that, let them follow up too. So 2 times 4, 8. 2 times 4, 8. So that's what? 8 centimeter as well. Same thing with this. So you see? Now, let me quickly say something. And in our next class, you need to brace up for that. Please don't miss the next class. I don't want you to miss the next part of a circle. We are going to be looking at the part that students don't usually remember or don't usually like talking about, which is, let me not say it. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it, but I'm going to leave it to what? Our next class. But you just wait till we get to the next class. You understand why I said it's one you don't want to miss. Okay, so keep learning, keep staying safe, and keep practicing. It's very, very important. And don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share. So share these videos with your friend. Okay, tell them about the channel. Alright, tell them, come on, we have where we learn. Alright, as long as they're upper basic, I'm going to attend those in primary 1 and 2 and 3. They're upper basic, then let them learn as well. And that's just it. So until I come away next time, please write this down. When you're done, let me know. Send me a message, and I'll send you your class assessment. So see you next time. Keep learning, keep studying, and don't forget to stay safe. Take care. See you.